So I just watched the new movie Longlegs, and wow, I've got a lot to say without spoiling anything, of course. For anyone who doesn't know, Longlegs is a brand new horror movie that came out about a week ago. It's about a group of FBI agents trying to track down this satanic serial killer who's played by Nicolas Cage. And overall, this actually may be my favorite horror movie to come out in the past couple years. I think the indie horror spike trend is still like really strong, and I love that it produced this gem. The movie is a bit of a slow burn and a bit of a psychological maze that honestly messes with your head and gets you more and more immersed in the chilling atmosphere. Like, I can safely say that I was on edge in this movie more than many others I've seen recently. And it's pretty noteworthy that those movies, um, typically something in a lot of horror recently, and generally speaking, they rely a lot on jump scares, but these like grade A movies in horror, and this one especially, doesn't rely on jump scares for the fear factor, which is really nice because ironically, I find movies with less jump scare elements more terrifying. And of course, it still has some of those cliche tropes, but they're relatively scarce. The plot in this movie is really what drives it, in my opinion, and it really works. And one of the biggest reasons why I feel it works is because of the characters. I really like that for a large amount of this movie, we don't even see the killer. Um, but in his work, we see a lot of what makes him so unique and so terrifying. Um, and it also works that we have a superb protagonist. I mean, Lee Harker, who's the main character of the movie, is perfect as a centerpiece. Her connection to the case is super well done, and her timid personality helps drive that fear factor in the general audience. Like, in a way, I sort of felt like this was the perfect way to keep us on edge because for most of the movie, she herself is. And it makes a lot of sense why she's the way she is, especially as the twist comes along in that chaotic third act. And the sort of uneasy relationship she has with her supervisor, who isn't really a super developed character but works well as the authoritative but still allied partner, is really nice and even leads to a lot of unexpectedly funny moments. Um, there is one character I didn't like too much, which was Agent Fisk, who just appears there at some point and is kind of just there to add to the characters, kind of. But she too serves a key part in the story. I won't give it away, but she definitely does. And if you watch the movie, you probably know um, what I mean by that. Um, I really do also like Harper's relationship with her mom and the unraveling as to why things between the two of them are like rocky. Um, Her mom doesn't appear physically until later on in the movie, but she does talk to her over the phone, and you can tell that something isn't quite right. And it definitely adds on to the main story, especially as we get further along with the movie. But really, really, the heart of it all, the person that we really need to talk about is the titular character, Longlegs. Nicolas Cage is an interesting actor. Sometimes he swings, and sometimes he misses. Like, he really, really misses. And in this one, he definitely didn't miss. Like, holy cow, he actually fits well as like a deranged clown like serial killer. He actually frightened me a bit, which I wasn't expecting really. Like, this is one of the most deranged and creepy characters in the horror movie in like a while. Like, everything about this character is creepy and goosebump inducing, and it actually pays off huge. Overall, I broadly really like the movie. I sometimes felt that it lost traction for a bit, and at times it leaned in a bit on status quo horror inducing elements to startle the audience, but that really didn't bug me too much because it's a great movie that I enjoyed. I enjoyed watching this like a lot, and I was adequately immersed in it. It really lived up to the hype. So I give it an 8.5 out of 10. So, yeah, that's essentially my review. I definitely recommend it if you're into horror or even just looking for a good movie to watch. Take care.